Welcome, wanderer. Close the guidebook and open your soul, because today, we're not just visiting Greece, we're feeling it. From secret cliffside villages to food made by hands that have stirred the same pot for generations, I'm taking you past the postcards and deep into the magic you'd miss if you blink. But don't wander off just yet. Stay with me till the very end. I'm revealing the places even seasoned travelers overlook. Dishes that will ruin you for all other meals. And travel tricks that just might save your entire trip. Pack your curiosity. We've got an Odyssey to begin. Ah, Santorini, the island of lovers, sunsets, and elbows in your ribs from selfie stick battles. But don't flee just yet. The trick? Arrive in late September. The cruise ship's thin, the breeze is cooler, and the island exhales. Catch golden hour at Oia's castle? Yes, but don't stop there. Now here's the real secret. Pyrgos, this hilltop village, whispers what Oia screams. No crowds, just cobblestone labyrinths lined with wild bougainvillea and sleepy cats. Climb the medieval Castelli fortress for panoramic views without 100 smartphones in the frame. Wander into Franco's cafe, carved into stone, with opera floating over your wine as the sun dips behind the caldera. Or stumble upon a bell tower with no name, just you, the wind, and the church's shadow stretching across whitewashed walls. Santorini is beautiful, but Pyrgos is yours. Mykonos, darling, the island of designer flip-flops and parties that blur into breakfast. But if you think it's all yachts and DJs, you're only half right. The secret? Leave the shoreline behind. Sure, dance till dawn in Paradise Beach if that's your vibe. No judgment. But then trade beats for bells and head inland to Anomera. Here, time stalls. You'll find Panagia Turliani Monastery, where Byzantine icons glow beneath centuries-old woodwork. Step outside, and the scent of grilled sea bass leads you to a taverna where grandma still rolls the kitchen. Wander the quiet square where locals sip coffee and gossip like it's a competitive sport. No crowds, no chaos, just the real Mykonos, barefaced and beautiful. So yes, snap the window selfie, but then turn around. Mykonos isn't just a party. It's a pilgrimage if you know where to look. If you ever wanted to feel like you stumbled into a forgotten myth, Meteora is your portal. Towering rock pillars stab into the clouds, and at their crowns, monasteries that defy gravity, built by monks who weren't just chasing God, but escaping empires. Come at sunrise, when the mist clings to stone and silence hums like a hymn. The Holy Trinity Monastery, made famous in Bond films, is breathtaking. But linger longer. Climb to Varlam or Rousanu, and let the wind whisper prayers older than the ruins themselves. Most tourists rush through on a day trip, but not us. Stay 2 nights in Kalabaka or Kastraki, and watch the light change everything. Hike the ancient footpaths between the cliffs. At dusk, sit in stillness as the sky fades from gold to ink. This isn't just a view, it's a spiritual altitude. Come for the photos, stay for the transformation. Santorini is beautiful, but Pyrgos is yours. If Santorini is the postcard, Naxos is the love letter locals never meant to send. Here, the Temple of Apollo's Portara greets you at the port, a giant marble frame to golden sunsets and beginnings. But wander inland. You'll find mountain villages like Aperantos, where the alleyways are paved in marble and grandmothers knit wisdom into your soul with a side of Kitron likur. Get wonderfully lost in the Chorus Old Town, a labyrinth of Venetian balconies and hidden cafes. Hike past ancient olive presses, tumble-down towers, and goat trails that still hum with myth. And when it's time to exhale, Agios Prokopios Beach. Powdery, peach-toned, and so quiet you'll hear your thoughts soften. Naxos isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. It's the Cycladic island that whispers, and only the curious ever hear it. In Greece, food isn't just nourishment. It's a story told in fire, salt, and generations of love. It starts with meze, a table of small plates and big feelings. There's saganaki, that flaming cheese with a flair for drama, crisped to gold and kissed with lemon, a dish that shouts "Opa" before it melts in your mouth. Then there's spanakopita, not the sad spinach triangle from your grocery freezer, but layers of hand-rolled phyllo cradling wild mountain greens and creamy feta, changing with every region like local dialects. And moussaka, rich, spiced, and slow-baked, a dish that doesn't just feed you, it embraces you. Here, every bite carries a whisper from a grandmother, a memory from a feast, a secret from the sea. In Greece, you don't just eat, you listen. Greek seafood isn't just fresh, it's poetry pulled from the sea. Imagine grilled octopus, tender from being lovingly whacked against seaside rocks, then charred just enough to taste like thunder met sunlight. There's kakavia, the humble fisherman's soup, made from the morning's catch, olive oil, and whispers passed down through weathered hands. It changes from island to island, but always tastes like survival and celebration. Then there's the sea urchin. Eaten straight from the shell, still warm from the sun, like kissing Poseidon's crown jewels. You'll find market oysters, sardines wrapped in vine leaves, and whole grilled fish with lemon so bright it makes your eyes close in reverence. In Greece, seafood isn't dressed up. It's barefoot, sun-kissed, and unapologetically honest. Just the sea, the flame, and you. Greek desserts are just sugar. They're symphonies of memory and myth. Start with loukoumades, golden dough puffs, drowned in honey and cinnamon. Imagine Zeus himself popped these between lightning bolts. Then there's galactoboreko, custard wrapped in crackling phyllo, soaked in syrup. One bite, and it's like getting a hug from a sweet-talking yaya who calls you my little star. Baklava? Of course! Layers of walnut, pistachio, and sticky joy. Stacked so precisely it could be an offering at Olympus. And pasta flora? Shortbread laced with apricot or quince jam, a quiet afternoon baked into pastry. Don't forget glika tou koutaliou, spoon sweets made from preserved fruits. Simple, sincere, and always served with love and cold water, because in Greece, dessert isn't the end. It's a sweet pause between stories. In Greece, wine isn't just poured, it's poured with purpose. Every glass is a conversation, every taverna a theater. Start with a sirtiko born from volcanic Santorini soil, crisp as sea spray and perfect with grilled octopus. Agiorgitiko follows, velvety and dark like an Aegean sunset, made for lamb or long talks with strangers turned friends. And here's your insider etiquette. Don't rush. Greek meals unfold like operas, slow, loud, and deliciously dramatic. Order a kilo of wine for the table, not by the glass. Locals pass plates, not menus. You ask, "Ti protinate, what do you recommend?" And they'll likely bring you their soul on a platter. When glasses clink, say yamas. It means to our health. And truly, in Greece, sharing wine is sharing life. Want the kind of bragging rights no influencer owns yet? Then lace up your boots and head for the dragon lakes of Epirus. Yes, lakes, perched like mirrors above the clouds in the alpine folds of northern Greece. You'll hike through silence so pure it feels like prayer. And when you reach the rim, you'll watch the sky kiss jagged peaks reflected in water that legends say once sheltered dragons. Myth or not, you'll swear something ancient still lives up there. Now pivot to Pelion, where fairytale villages curl into forested hills as if they just emerged from a bedtime story. Think slate-roofed homes wrapped in ivy, chestnut forests that creak with folklore, and roads so narrow your GPS gives up and shrugs. That's your cue to ditch the digital leash. Wander, ask, get lost, and find things no algorithm can suggest. Then drift to Ikaria, the island where time forgot to tick. Here, schedules are optional and joy is mandatory. You'll sip local red wine in someone's backyard while an impromptu violin solo starts up, and the neighbor brings over a plate of greens still warm from the stove. Ikaria doesn't just slow you down, it rewires your sense of what matters. And then, Milos, the goddess's sketchpad. Here, you'll kayak into sea caves carved by wind and waves and whispered legends. Forget guided tours. Paddle solo. Let the water do the talking. Inside the limestone caverns, echoes sound like songs, and the light bounces like it's dancing just for you. No lines, no selfie sticks, just salt in your hair and that delicious unspoken feeling. I found this. These aren't just destinations. They're invitations from the soul of Greece herself. Hoy, coming up, I'll hand you the keys, travel tips and local magic to turn your wanderlust into wisdom. Stay with me. The best journeys are stitched together by secrets like these. Time it right. April to early June, wildflowers, cool breezes, and no lines. September to mid-October, warm seas, cheap fares, and vineyard festivals. Avoid August unless you enjoy sunburns and overbooked ferries. Island hopping? Go high speed for big names, slow ferry for stories. Don't just hop, linger. Naxos deserves a chapter, not a pit stop. Cut to charming guest houses, skip soulless resorts. Choose Zenones, local guest houses where the breakfast alone might change your life. And don't underestimate the wisdom of a Greek grandma with a guest list. Bring reef-safe sunscreen, a hat that covers regrets, cash for the villages. And remember, Yasu gets a smile. If Garisto gets a free dessert. Greece isn't just a destination. It's a baptism into beauty, a slow dance with sunlight, sea, and centuries of soul. So tell me, which island whispered to you? Was it the cliffs of Foligandros? The misty peaks of Meteora? Hit that like button if your heart's been stirred. Subscribe for more offbeat marvels, and drop your Greek daydreams in the comments below. And next week, we trade olive groves for volcanic moonscapes. We're heading to a place where time bends, steam rises, and the sky glows green with magic. You guessed it, we're going north. Iceland is calling. Until then, keep wandering wide-eyed, wild-hearted, and wonderfully solo. Namiro, out.